Hey, good afternoon, everyone. So I just thought I'd put a little video out for all of the parents that have children that come to any of our classes, whether it's an all kids class, whether it's a mixed class, whether it's an adults class where we have advanced children coming in. I just wanted to put something out there, so it might be something that may be useful for you at home. It also might be useful for maybe those that may be working a sector of working with children, or and again, it's also quite cool to use this for adults as well, just to explain to them how this could work, or how this could benefit the attention from children and adults and teenagers. So within the classes, there will be a lot of children now that will maybe come home and maybe tell some of their parents about paying attention. So when we're teaching, I have 5 things that I tell the children that they need to do when they're paying attention. So it's very easy for me to go, pay attention, pay attention, pay attention. But what does actually paying attention mean? I mean, adults, they understand that when you're paying attention, you've got to make sure that you're listening. Make sure that you're looking. So we tell this to the children. So I do it in a specific order. So it sort of helps the children understand what order it goes in. Now, sometimes I'll say, right, what's the 5 things about paying attention? And they'll start chucking things out. And I try and have it in a specific order, because it just helps everybody to understand what I'm expecting from them. So the first one about paying attention would be having their ears open, making sure that they're listening, making sure that they are, they're taking in everything, what I'm saying. So that's number 1. So number 2 would be making sure that I've got, visual contact with them, or make sure that they are focusing on me. So making sure that they're listening to start with, making sure that they're looking at me, making sure that they're understanding what I'm expecting from them. So it might be the case that while I'm talking and while I'm demonstrating, they are listening and they are looking. So in which case they've got those 2 already. So now I know that I've got their attention via that. Now, obviously, again, we require more attention. So, sometimes, kids can fiddle, and sometimes kids can talk to the person next to them. And also as well, making sure that, it's going into their head, it's going into their memory, they're understanding what they're doing. So first one is listening. Second one is having eye contact with me, making sure that I know that I've got their attention. And then the third one is click and save. So we've had a couple of parents that have messaged me and basically said, I just want to try and help my son or my daughter or whatever it is. And we've had something come out about clicking safe. So click and safe is not correct. So click and save. So click and save is basically, it's like, so everybody knows about having mobile phones. It's like if you're taking a selfie, it's basically you click and it saves to the memory. So basically what we're asking the children to do is listen with their ears, look with their eyes, and then click and save it to the memory. So they're listening to my demo, they're listening to what I want them to do, they're looking at what the technique is going to be, and then I want them to store it into their memory. At least that way they can go, right, okay, I've listened to that, yeah, I understand that, I've seen it, I know exactly what I need to do, and then they click and save it in the memory. So so that's 3 so far. So listening, looking, click and save. Now the fourth one, so again, the fourth one is making sure that their mouth is closed. So again, it stops them chattering to the person next to them, and it stops them, getting involved in a big conversation about things that don't matter, like what they're doing later on. Are they playing on FIFA? Are they playing? Yeah. So it's just basically making sure that they, paying attention is also means that you keep your mouth shut at the same time while a teacher or an instructor or a helper or a team leader is talking. And again, it's like being at school. The children understand when they're in school, when they're in classes, they know they need to listen, they need to focus, and then they need to get on with their work. It's the same thing. Just because we're a karate, we're karate club, we don't expect, you know, we don't expect to, you know, have the same traits as a teacher in the school. We do. We're just teaching a different subject. That's all. And then the final one will be fidgeting. So, for instance, a lot of the children will grab hold of their belt and they'll start chewing it. They'll have fingers in their ears, fingers up their nose, and scratching their head, and, you know, fidgeting around and moving and this, that, and the other. Now, again, everybody is different. So some children need a little bit more, what's the word? Some children need a little bit more maybe effort on, you know, getting them to sit still, because sometimes, you know, a little bit fidgety and stuff like that. So, again, it's one of those things that we are trying to, you know, incorporate within the classes, about them trying to have a little bit more focus and discipline on themselves. So just a rundown then of those 5 again. So the first one will be listening, making sure that they've got their ears open, they're listening to what I'm telling them. Secondly, eye focus or eye contact with me, making sure that they are, they're making eye contact, they can see what I'm doing, they're checking out what different stances I'm doing, what leg work I'm doing. So I've got them listening and looking. And then the third one will be click and save, stick it in the memory, make sure that they understand that, you know, what they're doing, what I'm expecting them to do. Fourth one, making sure that they are not talking or, you know, sitting next to their mate and having a good old chin wag. So that's your fourth one. And then the fifth one is no fidgeting. So again, it's having that thing of, you know, sitting there maybe on a mat chat or something like that, where we'll sit them down and go over a few things, you know, and, you know, it's very easy to sit next to your mate and like start mucking around and stuff like that. You know, so it's like I was saying, the 5 again: listening, looking, click and save, keep the mouth closed, obviously, while I'm talking. And then, obviously, again, no fidgeting. So I'm hoping you guys can understand, obviously, what, you know, what's what with that. And sort of I've explained it in a way that, you know, is going to be beneficial for you guys to maybe incorporate that at home. And also maybe incorporate it within your work, if you work maybe in the school sector or something like that. Just might help you out. If it does help you out, please let me know, because I think it's quite a good little way of incorporating things for people anyway. All right, anyway, cheers guys, ta-da, bye-bye.